Hello, friends. We are back. I have some tea. I want to come from a place of vulnerability and to say that I did a horrible tea. I did something that some consider a cardinal tea sin, and I made tea in the microwave. I know it is wrong, but in these troubling times, we're short on time.
My
I just
goodness.
did it. And you know what? I'm surviving it. It's okay. I also have a haircut. My first professional haircut that I've had in 8 months.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna mention that. I was kind of totally jealous.
Yeah. My hairdresser, she reopened a little bit ago, and it's one person in at a time, and it's totally everybody's masked on, and she just disinfects everything between people. And
Wow.
I don't know, I'm not sure that it's totally safe, but I needed a haircut so badly, and
Yeah,
it seemed like she was making really good precautions, and that she's being really responsible. So
I dig it.
uh,
I hear
yeah,
you.
feels so good.
I miss it. Yeah, I'm not going until I can go for the full barber and get the beard done, and
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
kind of can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. There's a place in Oakland called People's Barber Shop that
Hmm.
I used to, when I had my beard, I would go to, because they would do the full thing, and they have an outdoor plaza that they're right next to, and they moved all their chairs out there, and I was like, it's brilliant. I'm sure they're heavy as hell to move around, but you know, to bring them in at night, but
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
it's really smart.
Yeah, it is smart. There's a place. The place I go to. I mean, it's just the most mean name ever. The barber shop is called Narrative Space, and
Love it.
yeah, the barber's awesome, and it's just a really cool guy. And yeah, I miss it. I miss it like terrible. We were like texting a little bit when everything first broke out, and I was like, "Hey, are you all right? Should I buy like a gift certificate at the shop for like my next haircut or something?" And he was like, "No, I'm all right. I'm doing okay." So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Better days ahead.
Yeah.
So
Also,
speaking of which, yeah, I would imagine uh, dwarven weddings are just uh, loud and drunk and fun.
mm-hmm.
I imagine it like there's some kind of staid and cool uh, rituals involving an axe and a hammer and an anvil, and and maybe some braiding of beards, and then there's a toast, and then after that it gets pretty nuts pretty fast, and
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah, drinking and yelling and chanting and dancing, and just, yeah, things
Yeah.
break down a little bit, and the people can kind of cross lines across clan and craftsman and host and noble, and it just becomes a big glorious mess. So that is how I imagine it. um,
Yeah, I love it. I My sister got married, had a very Greek Orthodox wedding. She married a Greek man, and they had a very, very Greek Orthodox wedding. And there was like so many things that we did. There were so
yeah,
many processes, right? And
yeah,
I'm imagining that, like Gaffy and Bella braiding each other's beard. Like I'm imagining all those like very official things, and then yeah, the party afterward. And it's important to um, to Pellara that the trolls are there. It's important that the adventuring party is there. It's important that the clan dwarves are there. I mean,
right,
not the clan dwarves wouldn't be there, but um, I've been to Big Bar at Origins, and I am very well aware of the networking that happens at social events, and that the opportunity to be there
yeah,
is the opportunity for advancement, is the opportunity for making friendship, is the opportunity, like you said, for barriers, just for breakdown. And
yeah,
Polara is 100% going to try and make the most of that, and
cool,
really like just get people who probably would not hobnob with dwarven nobles ever in their life the opportunity to do that. And
Gotcha. See, what you're saying is you're going to big bad con this wedding, is what you're
I'm
saying.
gonna big bad the hell out of it. Yes.
So the thing I think, not in your beliefs, but I think it would be happening, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it as a consequence of everything that's going on,
Mhm.
is that I think you start to catch wind that the Clansdwarves in the various holdfasts are negotiating a bit harder than usual with their nobles about pay and work conditions. Like, it's not full union, union stuff, but
Mhm.
I think the clans are pretty organized. The Clansdwarves are pretty organized, and I think there is definitely a pride in one of their own taking a princeship, and is definitely leading them to barter a little bit rougher than they normally would, and collectively bargain a little more astutely, now that they've got their prince, as they might say.
Yeah, oh man, that's freaking cool. I just wrote a note, make a belief about dwarven unions,
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah.
So I think there's an interesting thing at play here, because a lot of historical examples that we see of like medieval-esque organization, medieval-esque settings, right?
Yeah.
The bank and the ruling power are the same, right? The ruling power has the money, and Game of Thrones, for all of its many faults in the later seasons, did do a very interesting thing of introducing the Iron Bank that was not attached to a nation, and that had incredible sway. And I think that the Guilders are very much like that. They're
Yeah.
not tied. So I think there's an interesting interplay that there's not two parties here. There's not the nobles versus the clan. The Guilders
Right.
are a part of this as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. Like, I imagine today that's like the government and corporations, right? Like, and corporations are, in general, I would say that that's probably worse than just the government. But also, there's a way in which, by separating some of that power, you give more opportunity. I think there's more opportunity for making change. So I think that's cool. I don't know that Pollara would be doing anything right this moment about that.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna be thinking about it.
Cool. I just wanted that out there. I thought it would be something you would definitely know
Yeah.
about.
I dig it.
Yeah. And then I think, yeah, I think it's just there's some good natured brawling,
Mhm.
but nothing terrible. No one dies, so that's good.
It's definitely good.
And or no one dies because of brawling,
I'll take what I can get.
yeah, you have to take what you can get. That someone wandered in the tunnels and fell down a hole. It was just one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think each of the princes gets drunk in their own way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you wake up a bit hungover on the next morning.
Yeah.
And Jorge is making eggs, making eggs and coffee with goat's milk,
Mm-hmm.
as if you were back in your apartment in Wheelholt. And yeah, you know that you've got a couple of very difficult things ahead of you. I think it's just something that you would know as you woke up the next morning.
I love the idea that Pollara's personal chambers, if you were like, if it cuts, we've never seen her personal chambers. So I love the idea that we cut to like her waking up with him making coffee and eggs. And like, we don't know if it's a flashback or not. And then we sort of like zoom out and we see that it's like one room in the giant vault, but like, it's like a personal space. We never see Pollara in a personal space.
Yeah.
Like, we never see her with her beard unbraided or hungover. I don't know. She definitely made Nog like it was important to her that the Pollara, the Wheelholt Nog, her Nog, which isn't, as we have established, is just okay. But like, it was there.
Right.
It wasn't meant to impress everybody, but it was like, everyone's gonna drink my Nog, and I'm a prince, so they're gonna feel obligated to do it.
Yeah, Bulat danced again. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. I love that. Yeah, it's great.
Cool. Yeah, and I think he says, what next?
Well, I no longer have to worry about marrying Balazar Zargon's son. That ship has sailed for
That's
the
done.
best.
Yep.
Um, and I think that people are going to be willing to enjoy to walk off their hangovers, enjoy the leftovers, and participate in you know, and generally cavort now that the big ceremony is done, long enough for Herthos and Karbika's force to get me to Orkant and try and stop those damn spiders from winning over our neighbors.
Okay.
I think I need you and everyone staying here, if you're willing, if you're able, to keep everybody pacified, keep them from going home. I think they all know that I didn't just have this wedding for their gifts and their their drunken dances. We all know there's a war to be fought, and not all of them are going to join me, I don't think, but I need to hold that council. And I think it's best if I do that once I know what's happening with the orcs. So if you can keep things, you know, if you and Gaffy and Toman can keep things on the keep people from going home, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Cool.
So, and like
Cool.
she's saying this over like eggs and smooches, you know.
Yeah.
Gives him a kiss and.
Cool. You want to circle up Karbika?
Oh yeah. My
Let's do it.
circle Karbika change?
No, it isn't. Do you still have it?
Yeah, it was Ob 8 last time.
Oh shit.
But it was Ob 8 because I wanted him to do a very, very specific thing, which was to go and like I needed a very specific skill and I needed all these other things. So I feel like I think we should relook at the circles ops because I don't know if all of the modifiers applied last time.
It's kind of similar though. But yeah, let's look.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it being Ob 8. I just that was circumstantial, so I'd love to just see if the circumstances are the same.
I think they're the same, because I think you really actually need him fast, right? Because you've got to get this done before the council, so you kind of need him right here.
Yep. Okay, and I need a certain set of skills, and he's not he's not the same rank, he's not the same status as I am. Although I wonder if he has higher status now because he's now the head of my adventuring guild.
Right.
So it was only +1 for lower rank.
Yeah.
And that's the same.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's still late. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Yeah. The good news is that I am each of these tests is getting me closer to having a relationship with him.
Nice.
Which I don't know that Polara wants, but you know.
Love it.
But you know, here we go. All right, I'm gonna mark. I forgot to mark the first one. Okay. So I have. You can get help on circles rolls, and you also can use reputation. So I am. I would like to get help from Hertho because Hertho and Karbika are buds and he's my relationship, so I can call on him anytime.
Yep.
I don't really think anyone else. My other relationships are Bella and Tillman. And Bella might because Bella became an adventurer.
Yeah, she'll help you.
Okay. So help from Bella and and Hertho. And I think in terms of my reputations and affiliations, I think last time we decided that Potent Nagar and Polara family counted, but that Crew Chief did not.
Yep.
Cool.
And speaking of Bella, I think the Etharch's gift to her was an elven sword.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a child using the sword. All right.
Yep.
At least. I want to make an argument for including Crew Chief in now. Last time it didn't work because he didn't respect the chief, but I am now his chief. I'm his boss now.
True. All right.
Ob stays the same, but I'm getting that reputation die.
All right. I'm going to mute it while I eat another chip in protest.
Okay. So I'm getting 5 helping dice, 1 from Hertha, 1 from Bella, and 3 from my reputations and affiliations. That still puts me at 8 dice versus Ob 8. So it's not like this is
it's a reach.
It's a reach, but no, see what happens.
Yeah. Polara does roll well. Oof.
Well, hold on. There's 2 6s in there.
Oh man. You doing it? You opening them?
Oh yeah, I'm totally opening them. I only need. See what
happens.
I need 2 routine tests and my circles goes up. I never get routine tests on circles. But that's okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. It's 2, right?
Yeah. Boom. Let's see.
Roll 2d6. 1 more 6, but not it. All right.
Not enough. Cool. So I'm not going to do a whiff, but I will do a kind of an enmity version. And I think he says, where do you summon him to?
I think I'm gonna go to his hall, right? He's like, we're gonna have the adventurers hall.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have those quarters, and I'm gonna go to his hall. And I'm gonna have Hertho and Bella with me because I'm using their help, right?
Yeah.
But that's it. No phalanx of dwarven, soldiers that are, or no. I'm not coming in a position of, I'm not like, he outnumbers me here.
Yeah. And I think there's like a nice blend of like dwarves and humans and like maybe even an elf or two from the, I think the elves might feel very comfortable here.
Yeah.
And so they're all talking.
Who knows?
Yeah. And they're all kind of sitting and chatting over a map for a possible delve. That would be run in Torchbearer, in a different game.
Nice.
And I think everything gets quiet, and he looks up and says, Your Majesty, how can I help you?
It's one of those times for Biko. Bring over the map. Show me the forks. Show me the forts that are that you said you would clear out between here and Orkland.
Yeah, he takes out the map and shows you them.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about hitting a few with some elven help, actually, while the War Council is on. There are some elves who are eager for a hunt.
Yeah. How would you feel about the Etharch joining you and your prince?
I think that's a bad idea, Your Majesty. With all due respect.
It probably is. However, I have a very specific job that I need done, and I need to be there. And I basically lay out the plan to him. I say, the orcs are being courted by the handmaidens, and there's an internal dispute between them, And if they join the handmaidens, we will have an even more impossible task ahead of us. And we're going to go to support, and I tell them about She Who Whispers in the Darkness and the fire. I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, because I'm going to those forts to clean them out and reclaim them for your majesty, not to take part in orc politics and hold council.
No.
Yes. So what I'm saying, your majesty, is no. Allow me to be very clear. No. If you want to come and help clear out the fort, I can't stop you. But I'm not going to start clearing out the fort and then stop because of political reasons. I'm not going to do a half war, half diplomacy mess that's going to get nothing done.
Look,
as if they'll listen to us.
I don't know if they will, but I need to give it a chance.
Yes, I understand that, and I'm respectfully saying this chance will not take place during one of my forays.
And I
think like everybody gets really uncomfortable. Like people are like shifting in their seats, and like I think one of the dwarves just leaves. Like they're just, everybody is just really uncomfortable that he's in your hold fast telling you no. Yeah.
And I say, are you reluctant? Are you telling me no because you're afraid? And I'm not calling you a coward. I'm asking you if you're telling me no because you think we'll all die and you think it's a foolish and a dangerously foolish mission. Or are you telling me no because it directly contravenes the efforts that you've been making to try and capture land?
Both.
Okay.
Both. You want, if we're going to make peace with them, then let's make peace with them. If we are going, but I will tell you that's a terrible idea, but fine. If we are going to make war and drive them from the lands that they have stolen, let's do that. But what we shouldn't do is go in, maybe this, maybe that. There's just,
I agree.
There's nothing.
Going in unsure of our purpose is a guarantee that we will fail because we won't know what we are trying to achieve. So you said, if we're going to go make peace with them, let's do that. All right. How would you advise we make peace with the orcs? I trust your counsel. I need your wisdom. You have experience I don't. You've traveled the world. I've only met one orc that I've talked to at any length, and that was recently. Maybe you've met more.
I believe
should I make a course persuasion roll here to try?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this Duel of Wits? Is this?
Do we want to go full Duel of Wits, or should we just go? What are you thinking?
Well, let's see. What would my body of argument be? Come with me and help us out. What would his be? Don't go on this foolish errand. Help us raid. Help us raid the. I think he has a counter argument to make. If you feel like he wants to push that, I think it should be a Duel of Wits. If this is really, he doesn't care what I do one way or the other. He just doesn't want to do this stupid thing. Then I think it's a simple.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to do it. I think he just doesn't want to do it. Yeah. And I feel like we're going to get a lot of Duel of Wits at the War Council. So I think let's. Not that Krabika is not worth a Duel of Wits. I think that might be interesting, but I think. I think he's ob 5.
Yep. All right. Okay. Here's what's coming in my discussion with them. Can you tell me if these things? Tell me if I'm being, if I'm overreaching here. I think this is course persuasion, but I think there's a fair amount of hearty backslapping. Let's get this done. I thought you had, this is why you have a guild hall. I think I'm bringing in stentorious debate. Sometimes it's ugly truth. Sometimes it's soothing findings. In this case, it's like, let's get her done.
Yeah.
I'm bringing in Spider-Wise because I know how dangerous the spiders are, and I know that they are more like they can communicate and they are intelligent and they will form armies and they will make a pincer between the orcs to our west and the spiders to the south, and it will be very, very bad if we don't stop this. He swore an oath to me when I made him head of the adventure guild. Is that correct? Am I right in that?
I believe so.
I think he did. I think he's like, you need to. So I'm going to bring in Oathwise because I'm going to say, you told me when I had dirty jobs that I needed someone to do them. And this is a dirty job and I need you to do it. And here's the bomb that I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop in Elfwise because it applies here. I'm not going to tell him about Fiona, but I'm going to say, we assume that orcs are monsters, but I think it's sort of coming out more and more of the story of the dragon, Rana.
Yeah.
And I say, and so I don't think it's like as like, whoa, nobody knows this anymore. People in the vault, people know this. Corbicum, I know this, but I say, elves that have spent thousands of years giving up to their hate are now the creatures that threaten us. There is something still there. There are the elves that you just as you have humans and trolls and elves in your group, you could have orcs in your group too. They are not beyond redemption.
Cool.
So, all right. Endurance debate, oath, spider, and elf. 4 helping dice. And it's ob 5. All right. How much persona do I have? I only have 2 persona. No.
Oh wow, we've been
I had
away
4,
at that,
and
huh?
I spent 2 on them already this session. So,
Love it.
do I get help from Bella or Hertha? Or are they like, no, Mom, this is your thing?
Yeah, I think they're backing off. They do not like. No one likes the idea of this.
Yep, I get it.
No one digs this.
Is there anything he wants? And I say that because I wonder if forking and haggling makes sense. If there's like, is there give and play here where he's like, okay, because last time he was like, yeah, I'll do this, but you need to give me something. I'm wondering if there's a haggling element in here where he is sort of going to position himself to.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything he wants out of this. I think he really wants to be left alone to do the thing he swore to do.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Here we go.
Yep.
4 dice.
Boom.
No Artha. Ob 5. Come on.
Holy shit.
I forgot course persuasion is automatically open-ended. Look at all those 6s.
Man, Polara cannot lose. Holy sugar. Sugar, honey, iced tea. All right. Let's do this.
Wow. I did not expect that. I didn't expect to hit Ob 5. Okay.
Yeah, he says if you want to sorry, hold on, let me get a drink. If you want to, he points to this fort that's like in the middle, right? There's like 5 forts that he has to reclaim.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one like in the middle. It should not be the first one you go to, right? It's like, it's in a bad spot. And he says, this is the one that I hear has the most diverse of the orc factions. There are wolves, there are spider riders, there are devil worshippers, there are several claimants who want to have a name. In the old days, it was called the Goat Keep because it is high and precarious.
Let's bring rope.
Shit. Yeah. And cool.
Yeah. So my plan is Kurbika, his crew, Hertha, and his whatever, like his kind of,
Rangers. Yeah.
his Rangers, the Ethark, and whoever she wants to bring, and She Who Whispers into the Darkness of Fire. And I agree with Hertha that my plan is a little bit, like it's wishy-washy, and so I kind of want to plan with him, and I think at some point I gather those people together: Hertha,
Yeah.
Kurbika, the Ethark, and She Who Whispers into Darkness and Fire, and I say, make no all I know is that Oryx will see us and attack on sight. That's my understanding. I want to stay their arms by whatever means necessary long enough for them to listen to a counter offer from the spiders. And that is peace with their neighbors. I know that my understanding, and I'm looking at She Who Whispers in the Darkness and Fire because I want her to tell me, like, if I'm off my rocker, if I'm completely off base.
Yeah.
But I say, like, I know that offering peace is not a common is not often met with success. But how many years have we warred, and to what end has it been? Every one of my predecessors has claimed Runehall, which we now call Orkant, as a lost mountain that will one day be taken back. And I want to honor their right to their new home. And dwarves don't have the ability like elves do to just like make a song and make it so. I can't call them dwarf friend, but I can put in the texts that Orkant was a misnomer that was used until we learn the true name of whatever the orcs call their home, and sort of grant them sovereignty or respect their sovereignty, at least, of their home.
Wow.
And that's a hard sell. That's going to be a hard sell to the dwarves as well, but that's what Polara throws out there. And she's sort of looking at She Who Whispers in the Darkness and Fire to say, like, no, that's never going to work, or give it a shot, or
yeah. She says it's just unprecedented. I don't know if it's going to work. Nothing like this has ever been done. No one has ever offered us peace. No one has ever offered us anything but red war.
I know. Well, so the books say. I'm just afraid that the only way anyone will listen is if we first best them in battle. Do you think I'm wrong? I'd rather not try to find peace at the end of a sword or an axe, but It's every council I've heard is that's the only way that it will be possible.
Yeah. I mean, I could go to the Wolf Riders and I could bring you the Riders. That is the largest contingent who are against the Spiders.
Let's do that.
Cool. Where do you like recommend you meet? Like just
Well, Karbika was recommending the Goat Keep because it like that's where the Wolf Riders
Right.
or some of the Wolf Riders are.
right.
And I ask She Who Whispers what they call it, what they. I'm sure we all have different names for things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's called the Horned Moon Keep. And like you can see why from the construction, it looks kind of like a crescent. Like it's built on a crescent shaped hill, or or like cliff in a hill. Yeah.
Let's meet at the base of the Horned Moon Keep.
Cool.
So yeah, I think I have my entourage. I've gotten all these people are either people who have said that they would go with me on this, or who I've circled up, or who are relationships, or yeah. So I feel confident in who is in the group going, and I'm gonna head out.
Cool. Love it.
Rather, I say I feel confident in the group we have. I feel like we have a really good group, and I am terrified about the possible outcomes here. But let's give it a whirl.
Cool. Fantastic. Yeah. So.
Oh, I think I want to bring one more person. Tell me if I need to circle them up. I think I want to bring Limper.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason I want to bring Limper is because he knows Orc.
Yeah. That is interesting.
I don't speak Orc. I speak Troll, I speak Spider, I speak
right.
a lot of things. I mean, unless there's only two skills, there's ancient languages and foreign languages, and I have them both, but I feel like it's reasonable to say I could learn Orc, but I don't think it's reasonable to say that I have. There's been no context for me to learn Orc yet.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I think you've got orc neighbors, and you've got an instinct about always studying.
Yes.
So I think there is a case to be made that you've picked up Orc.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think. Let me just check the foreign language skill. Foreign languages. Test the skill when attempting to communicate with another language that is not your tongue. Yeah, I think that my knowledge of Orc should maybe affect my ob rather than be a sort of on or off thing. That my ability to communicate with them, just so I made a ancient languages tests to speak with She who ate the dragon.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I still like the idea of bringing Limper. I think it's cool. He has knowledge of the orcs.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down with that. And I don't know why I'm not interested in a circles roll on that, but I'm not. Yeah. So I know why I'm not, because there's no interesting failure.
Right.
I think, yeah, it's just not that interesting. Yeah. So you make your way to the base. You know, a very strange group you are.
Mhm.
Makes its way to the base of the Horned Moon Keep or the Goat Keep, and you meet in this grove where there have been countless battles um, between orcs and dwarves, between the hosts of the Rune Keep and the Vault, and their hosts during olden days. And yeah, the orcs ride in on these wolves the size of ponies,
Mhm.
and one is a little bit more scarred, and you see the way he like uh, he gets off the wolf and talks to it in a way that the others don't, and then he kind of goes around and like just the way a leader would goes around to each person, each orc, and you know gives them some personal instruction, and then he walks out to the you know center of the grove and says,
Mhm.
"I am the named. I have earned the right to rise above my title, to rise above the blood I have spilled and the bodies I have rent, and have a name of my own. Who am I speaking to? Why am I here? Why does my whisperer whisper?"
I think Polara kind of like looks to her left, looks to her right, you know, checks in with her entourage. And I imagine they might have rode ponies too, like to get out here quickly. So they're probably not exactly loving the wolves near them. She dismounts and walks up and meets him in the glade. And she says, "I am Prince Polara, Dragon Sworn, and I come to parley with you. Uh, we have a common enemy."
I think when you say dragon sworn, like everyone looks at the skies, like, oh shit. And I think he has to turn. Like people start to mutter, and he turns, and you hear him. You know, I think you're speaking in Orcish, right? You're speaking in the Orc tongue,
Yeah.
and he says,
Yeah.
"The dragon is dead. The handmaidinator. Don't be fools. I would not have brought you out here to be dragon food. The first person who runs dies. I will present their head to this prince as a gift. They love gifts." And like that kind of like chills them out.
Yeah.
And he turns back to you and gives you a look like leadership, right? What you know, and
Right. You gotta.
yeah, like, oh,
I
you know
think
how it
Polara's
is.
had like 27 headaches in the last couple weeks, months of dealing
Right,
with
right.
stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, but I think he does do that, right? He like looks at you as if like you know how this is.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, he has that. Uh
Yeah.
and he says, what was the question? Shit, I totally lost my fucking way here.
No. It's. I
Oh,
mean, he wanted to know what the fuck what's this all about. Yeah.
yeah. And you said like you were offering him something, or you said
Yeah. I said we have a common. I came here to parlay with you. We have a
we
common
have a
enemy.
common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go make war in the south on the spiders, but you don't want orcs at your back.
That's true. You
That's a
want.
problem.
There's a problem. You want to rest assured in your. You want to rest assured in your leadership of your orcs, and you don't need dwarves hounding at your doorstep every night and every day. You've lost forts, and there's one more mountain held by a dwarf surrounding you on both sides now. I don't come here to threaten. I come here to make you an offer of peace.
You are but one prince.
And I have an entire council of princes who I am about to report to. And I would love to bring them a message that says, I have made peace with the named. And then I will honor the names. I will honor the names hold, if that's what you call it. And that we will cease our endless war with you. I want to honor your claim to this land.
Claim?
As no dwarf has done before.
I feel like you're offering me what I already have. You want to give me a stone with some chisel marks in it to say that it's official? You want someone with a certain color beard to come so we can say pretty words to each other?
Have you ever thought of what it would be like to not be at war constantly with your neighbors? Have you ever considered it?
Of course I have. I think it would make my soldiers weak. I think it would cause them to fight amongst each other rather than have an outward enemy to deal with. Bring your librarian. Bring your librarian soldiers.
Do you wish to test our steel? Is that the only sign of merit? You're a leader. I know that you value more than martial prowess. I can see it in the way you instill respect.
I think we're in a duel of wits. I think we need to get to it.
Yeah. I think we are too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because we're doing that thing where it's funny. It's interesting in Burning Wheel where you get that thing where you're sort of talking over each other. You're like, you're this, you're that. Like you get this kind of like thing. And you're like, aha, that's when duel of wits matters, because like both people can be like, both people can say, whatever. And we find out whether this has impact. Cool. So I want him to, my body of argument is that I want him to rebuff the spiders and make peace with the dwarves, or entertain a peace with the dwarves. Like I can't speak for all the princes, right? Like I don't know if it's going to work out, but but my promise to him, which I will make an oath to, if it sort of comes to that, is that I will speak on his behalf, or bring him to them, whatever that looks like. But the point is, like, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want him to make peace with us and rebuff the spiders.
Okay.
Does that sound?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Do I say something orthogonal that he wants, or do we just go for it from here? And like, what do you?
I think if you, I feel like.
Here's what he wants.
He is okay.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm just like making a compromise. Yeah, I mean, I think he doesn't have any reason to trust you. So I think he just I think this duel of wits is about like convincing him that you can actually trust him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And that you're not like offering him what he already has.
Right.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think it sounds to me like if he wins this duel of wits, then I have like no offer. Then he's sort of taken. Effectively, I feel like if he wins this duel of wits, then the only way that we can talk is through violence. It's like, get the hell off my land. You don't have any right to give me this. I've taken it. I'm not talking to you. None of my people are going to talk to you. The only way you're going to take another step forward is, over my dead body.
Yeah.
that feel right? Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good. Let's roll some dice.
yeah. All right. Okay. I believe, gosh, I don't know why I always forget this. I don't think you fork into your BOA.
No, no, you don't.
All right. So I'm just gonna roll. You would roll I'll roll course persuasion. Sometimes that and Centaurius debate kind of overlap for me, but I think this is personal and all right.
Cool.
Is this a big deal?
I think it is. Yeah.
Because I think if it's a big deal, and if we both agree on it, I think it is for me.
Yeah.
You could say it's not for him, but I think if it's a big deal, we don't roll. We just double our will, and that's our.
Great. Let's do it.
I'll
So his is
double check
10.
on that. His is 10.
Yeah.
All right, mine's 12.
I'm at page 391. That should be where it is.
Awesome.
So it's not a big deal. If the argument is not a big deal, don't engage in a duel of wits. State your intent and use independent tests with will as obstacle. Blah, 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 blah. State your case, statement of purpose. Yeah, I don't see
Let's see.
big deal, little deal.
Maybe I'm thinking of something that was from Revised and I took it out of.
Yeah, could be. Okay, so let's roll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that might have been something that was in Revised. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
So we'll roll.
Yep, he got one success, so his BOA is going to be 6.
6. All right, I got. I got 2, and
Okay.
no. I'm going to spend a fate to reroll one of the traders because it's an open-ended skill. Nope. All right. So I'm at 8 BOA.
Cool.
Maybe
I am ready whenever you are.
Oh, right.
And do you want me to put it in the chat or do you want me to put it in the...
Yeah, let's put it in Roll20 chat and both hit enter at the same time. I think that's...
The Roll20 chat, not the Twitch chat? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can put it there too afterwards, but I think this is the place that we can go back to later on and refer to. Twitch chat will get lost. Man, I hadn't thought about this. Let me think about it for a moment.
Yep, I'm done. I did the best. This is the best. What is it called? Scripting I've ever done.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. All right.
Ready?
Rep. 1,
3,
2, 1, go. All right.
So yeah, mine is dismiss, and then fuck you, and then dismiss, which is the most terrible scripting in the entire world. Don't ever script like that. But I kind of love it. And yours is point.
Yep. And you know why mine is point? Because
you realize he's unskilled.
I had a duel of wits with a dwarven prince, and he scripted point, and he kicked my ass. And I went, what would a dwarven prince do? And I didn't know what else to script, so I went with that because
Love it.
I don't want to yell at him. I don't want to spit in his face. I want to make my point. And
Cool.
I was like, he's going to dismiss the shit out of me. So avoiding the topic of rebutting him are useless. I'm gonna make my points. I don't even know what works against dismiss. I don't know like what is actually will counter a dismiss.
There is something I forget.
It's pretty hard to stop. Let's see, dismiss, obfuscate, and it does. No, I don't think obfuscate. I think is the
Okay.
All right. Do you want me to make a point and then he can spit in my face?
Yeah.
Or vice versa?
Yeah. Make your point.
All right. I say, sorry, my machine's running really slow all of a sudden. It's like it knows things matter. I say, Axo Leonte Orco. He is the orc who leads the spiders. I knew him like a brother. I stood by his side for years. I think years is right. 2 years, but maybe I stood by his side for years. And I can tell you without any, I can tell you with all certainty, he seeks nothing but the destruction of everyone. He does not want to conquer. He wants to destroy. He wants the world to burn and you with it. He sees you as a tool and nothing more. When he is done raiding and pillaging and burning, he will not stop, and you will be trod under his foot, and you will be and the spiders will gorge on you, and you will only given them the tools to do it.
Mm.
And I think I'm kind of playing off the fact that I know he doesn't like the spiders. I know he's the wolves already dislike them, so I don't think I'm telling him anything super new.
I think he says.
Oh, I want to add one more detail because I'm going to ring an oath twice. So let me throw it in there.
Yeah.
And I said the last oath he ever swore, the last law of dwarves he said he would ever acknowledge was the deed stone to what was my deed stone to the vaults. I would give you that and give you that and give you that. He was previously saying, you're going to give me a rock that says I own this thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. And I say it means something to him.
He says, you do the bone orc who bows to spiders too much honor to give him a name. I am not worried about him. He is soft. And I think that's his dismissal.
Yeah. And I'm just like under my breath, I'm like, this isn't a rebuttal to him. Just under my breath, I'm like, he'll take your eye without even blinking.
Yeah, he really will.
And it's not that's not even a reference to Bina. It's funny. I didn't even think about it till I said it, but I'm just like, he'll just throw that javelin right through your head and it won't even matter. Alrighty.
Let's roll. We're gonna erode each other's dual wits, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halved 2. Yep, he takes 2 away from your body of argument.
2 away. Okay. I am rolling course persuasion. I'm forking an ugly truth. You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm forking in Elfwise. I know him. I know who he is.
Yep.
He's not going to honor you at all.
Yep.
I'm working in Spiderwise. Their appetites will never end. They will consume you. I think that's it. Oath, Elf, Spider, Ugly Truth. Oath, Elf, Spider, Ugly Truth. Yeah. Does that all sound good to you?
Sounds good. You could easily win this in one go.
Uh-huh. He has, you said his body of argument is 6.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Let's see how we do. I'm getting 4. Oof. Yeah. I'm going to spend a fate. Roll one more.
Yep.
There
It is. That's like a full circle moment, I feel like. For you to like take on an unskilled Duel of Witzer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Awesome.
So he didn't get half of mine, so he gets a minor concession.
Yeah. A minor concession.
I don't think it's even a full concession, because to get a full, to get half full, you have to get someone around half, which would have been 4 off of my. Let me just double check that. So, gosh darn it, I'm flipping. If your body argument is reduced by a few points but less than half, you owe the opponent a minor compromise. Yep. One idea that I have is that if he needs to do violence to prove to his orcs that he's not weak, and he wants one of them to fight one of mine, or he wants to fight me, like, I'll fight him. Like, if that's what he needs to prove that, like, but it'll be like a one-on-one thing, I don't know. I don't think
That's
that's
a
what I
pretty big.
want.
Yeah, that's pretty big. That feels like if he got like half of your,
Yeah.
That feels like a big one. I think it's a little thing. I think all he wants is, like, we established that there were 5 forts. He wants one of the forts.
This one, the Horn Moon Keep.
Sure, we've named it. Let's say this is one, which is kind of like a bad one to give up, right? Because it splits your forces. But yeah, this is the one he wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Sean's cool with that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a significant. It's significant, but it's still minor in the larger scheme of things. Vis-a-vis Duel of Wits. Yeah. And I say, I like put out my hand to shake his as partners isn't the right word, but
yeah.
In truth,
I think you you reach out your hand towards him, and he like clearly has like an adrenal combat response, right? Like he is not used to anyone reaching for him like that. And I think he kind of looks at he kind of like looks back at his wolf, who says it is how they show respect and check for weapons. he kind of like looks at your hand, like, like, well, is there a dagger in it that I'm not seeing? And
Yeah.
then he kind of like takes it, and you're probably the strongest person here, right? I mean, other than maybe there might be a troll that's stronger than you, but maybe not.
Yeah. G4 power, right? Um, yeah, I give him a friggin' solid grip, right? This
Yeah.
could turn into a wrestling match. It's not going to, but like it's a it's a strong grip. And
Yeah. And I think like he pulls you in close, and like you can smell his breath, and he says, and I think like, and I think I need to stop calling him he. I think it's a she. I think that this name is a she. And she says, she's like this rangy, sinewy elf, or sinewy orc rather, and she pulls you in close. And you can smell her breath, and she says, "No orc will attack you while you make war on the spiders. We are at peace until we are not."
may that peace last many, many years. Fight, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. That is right. Yeah, and I kind of look up to the fort, right, that we're below,
Yeah,
and I look at him and his wolves. Kind of look at him and his people, and I look over my shoulder, and I want to try and convey this wordlessly so that he doesn't have to be insulted in front of his orcs. What I'm trying to
yeah,
convey is like, do you need help? Like, I brought people here with axes. I did not
yeah,
come here expecting not to fight.
right,
Do you need help to secure your hold over the Hornmoon Keep? I honor it, but I know it's contested with the other orcs. Like,
right.
do you want us to fight by your side? And if he says no, I got it, that's fine, but I didn't come here empty-handed.
Yeah, he says, I think like there's a moment like you grab his hand. He looks pretty shocked. You grab her hand. She looks shocked. I'm sorry, I keep misgendering this orc.
No.
And for a moment, you like look up at that, at the fort, and you can hear like orcish chanting coming from it. And he kind of like she nods like, I've got this. I do a mercy to my people to save them from that grip of yours.
Pilar smiles, and she says, "Do you know of the one who I named?"
Do I know of the what?
When I called him Axo, he said, he doesn't deserve a name. He hasn't earned a name.
Right.
So I'm referring to Axo, but I'm calling him the one I named.
Yeah. The bone orc who kneels to spiders. Yes.
That one. Do you know his whereabouts?
In a week, there was supposed to be a gathering, and the masters of the eight-legged masters were going to make their case to go burn the world down with She Who Ate the Dragon. But that gathering will not be happening now.
I'm glad to hear it. Does she have a follow up regarding where Axo is, or is that like?
Oh, and I think she says like Axo would have come, or no, the bone orc who kneels to spiders would have come to that, but when they hear about what we've done to their servants, they will stay away.
Very well. Should you learn of his location, I would prize it. Pilar's really unsure. She's like really trying to like not not turn this into a transactional thing where it's like, I'm going to pay you for this information, but also
Yeah.
like does want to respect that, like, I'm asking for a favor and we don't know each other. So like, I'm willing to, you know, to do something for you, whether that's another favor for you or whether it's a payment. But, you know, when they first met, the named said, you know, you're a dwarf, you're going to try and give me a gift to win me over, etc. And she's sort of trying
Yeah.
to, you know, counter that by not saying like, I'll give you, you know, treasure if you
Right.
tell me
Right.
what
Right.
this is, but like also like I respect, you know, your time,
Yeah.
the risk. I don't know. It's a complicated thing. I think it's
Yeah. She says, I've got this in hand. They will not be expecting what is about to happen to them.
well met, the named. And just to be clear, her name is the named. Like she has the right to have a name, and that name is the named.
Yeah, I think the thing, like some orcs share their name, but I think she is of the opinion that I think she comes from like a line of orcs who worship devils and demons, and so
Mhm.
like, yeah, I have a name, but I've sealed it and I've buried it somewhere and it's safe, and I'm definitely not giving it to you. You know,
Mm.
it's that kind of thing.
Right. So just so I'm clear though, what people call her is the named. Then that's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's that's what we
Yep.
call her. Cool. Just making sure I wasn't like she's like I have a name, use it, and I'm not using it.
Yeah. No. I think it's just, yeah. When you call another orc by a name, then it becomes like an insulting thing,
Yeah.
especially, you know, like pretty powerful elfish words. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think
do
it
we
too.
want to end there and start the next game with the War Council?
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
expecting. I thought we might get to it tonight, but like, it's the only thing I want to add to this is going back to Din um, Arn. I wrote it down, and I'm not Arniliel.
Din
Din
Arniliel.
Arniliel. Okay, I go back to Din Arniliel, who came with me. Like she
Yeah.
came with me to see Axo,
Yeah.
and I say I'm, you know, and I say in private, I'm sorry, he's not here.
You
Um,
did good work. Don't be sorry. Your job was not to summon that orc.
I think he is still ahead of us on the road. I think we will meet him soon enough.
Yeah, and I think like when you walk away, she looks at the stars, right? And she says, "Sooner than you think." And we'll have, so it's the morning of the War Council, right? And you wake up and there is a dwarf in your room who you've never seen before. And your husband is asleep, and the dwarf has this long black beard, um, unbraided, and I think he's like, yeah, he's made himself a cup of coffee with like your husband's pour over,
Yeah.
right? And he's sipping it.
Sorry, I'm responding to Andy. Andy said, no kiss. And I said, sorry, no kiss. Polara and her husband haven't talked about that. Maybe they will.
It's a very complicated oath taking process. I'm not sure that that's what this game is about.
Yeah, I don't know. Polara
Yeah.
hasn't had many romantic inclinations.
Yeah.
But I think that like many things, she and Rothero are very open to talking about things, which is the part of their relationship that I cherish the most. There's not a lot set in stone, which is, you know, a little dwarven humor there for you.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was distracted. This
Yeah.
dwarf is pouring himself coffee.
Yeah, he's drinking coffee, and
Yeah.
when he sees you're awake, he nods at you, and I think when you look at his eyes are golden, like like dragon gold.
Uh, I say, please make yourself comfortable, and like as a joke, right? And I go over and I like see if there's any of the coffee left.
Yeah, and I
And
think he says, "Well, thank you, I will, Prince Pilara, Dragonsworn, the pillar of the vault."
I plan to add another honorific to that title soon.
Slayer of the Handmaiden.
Orc friend. But
Interesting. I am but a humble messenger. I am the prince of the bottomless holdfast. I am the.
she literally turns her head cockeyed,
Yeah.
like you're the prince of the dreaming. Let me pull it up.
Oh, yeah, the Dreaming Vault,
The
or the
dreaming,
Dreaming
the,
Palace.
yeah, the dreaming palace. That's what she assumes when he says that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who do you think I am? I'm sorry.
I have representatives from every holdfast except for the dreaming palace.
Oh, man, that messes up my whole thing. No, I'm the devil. I'm sorry. I was trying to make that clear. Like, devils don't really deal with your kind. You tend to fuck it all up on your own. So you're kind of easy money, and you don't really have souls like humans do. You're just not very satisfying to us, I'm afraid. But
Yeah.
I have been ordered to deliver a message, so here I am.
Who orders the devil?
The devil, a devil. I mean, the words are very, very slimly different. The great named, of course, um, mistress of the Horned Moon Keep, uh,
Mm,
terror of the Orcont.
yes.
She sent me to let you know that she is currently under siege. They are holding off the spiders, but apparently, the bone orc who kneels before the handmaiden did not take kindly to their agents being beheaded and their heads being staked out in the fields and thrown into webs. So there is a modest but big enough force of spiders uh, laying siege to my lady right now.
Um, Pilara's kind of like wiping the sleep out of her eyes, and she's not sure whether she should, like keep it cool or, she's not sure whether she's never talked to a devil before. She doesn't know what the heck it
Yeah,
means, right?
yeah,
And I think that she probably has some wives' tales, superstitions, some ideas about
yeah.
devils,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
about
bet.
what you
Yeah,
do.
especially coming from Wheelholt. I mean, because I think that is a holdfast that might have ideas about devils more than anyone else. Yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
So I think she makes a sign of the wheel.
Yeah, I think he rolls his eyes.
And that maybe it's a ward against him, or maybe it's a it's a maybe I think it's equal part ward against him, which probably doesn't do anything, and also like preparation for dire battle. And she says, I think she sees Hrothro sleeping, and she's got some way of calling Gaffy, like a bell, a horn,
Yeah,
something, right? Like, and I think she kind of calls for Gaffy to assemble the council. We meet today. You know, the plan was to meet. The plan was to meet today, right? Like this was the day of the meeting anyway, but it was going to be.
Yeah.
She says, wake the council from their beds. We meet now.
Got it. Yeah.
Rather than like, whatever the official time was and all that.
Yeah. I think, the devil claps his hands and says, that's fantastic. Would you like me to stay? I could be a great help to you. Gold of eye, silver of tongue, and all that.
His eyes are literally golden. So she sort of peers to see if his tongue is made of silver.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said, try and stay and my clan will mine that right out of you. We'll mine that gold and steel right out of you.
No,
you should return. That. Yeah. It's not meant as a threat. It's meant like a
He shrugs like I had to try.
Yeah.
And I think like you turn to Gaffy to tell him one more thing, and when you turn back, he's gone. A little whiff of brimstone and that's it. And we'll start right there next game.
Yeah. I just realized like I was trying to play that cool, but
yeah,
I probably should have made a steel test there.
I mean, he took a form to not force you to take a steel test, right? Like I think he was trying not to induce that. And he was trying to be subtle. So I don't think there was a steel test necessary.
Okay. Makes sense. I just don't want to be like, oh yeah, Polara's super cool. Nothing phases her. I think she was scared, but
yeah, no. I think you got that. And I mean, this devil was sent as a messenger, right? This is not like the devil. This is a devil. And they lie. It lied because that's what they do. And no need. I don't think you were like, if it had unveiled its true form and gone full Balrog or whatever on you, then it would be a different story. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think this thing was like Balrog territory. Cool. Shall we do some Martha?
Yeah. All right. Bella's wedding is the first chance for dwarves, elves, and trolls to celebrate together in ages that will unify them all in a common task, restoring the apps of earth and sky. They did it.
Persona.
Before Fiona was actually Leonte Orco, he was the elven Atharic's brother. I will share my memories of him with her and in turn ask what drove him to such hate. I think I got it.
Persona.
No longer Runehall. Orcon is a crude name made out of fear and resentment. I will aid you, whispers in the darkness and the fire, and fending off the handmaiden's control, and in doing so, learn its new name. I forgot to frickin' ask its name. Did she tell me? Did the name tell me? Do we call it Moonhorn? I mean, it's not Moonhorn Keep. That's only one part of it.
Yeah.
Is that just like player hiccup? Like I should have learned it, or is that a bigger task at hand? Because it's important to me to come back to the Dwarven Princes and say like we are going to honor and like the name of it, and like we're going to make peace with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they call it the Great One's Throne.
The Great One's Throne. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna take Persona on that then.
Cool.
Okay, instincts. When I'm unsure about the best way to govern, consult the Broodmother.
You did that, but I don't know if
I did that, and I think it turned. Did it turn things in an interesting direction? I was very seriously considering telling Zaragon to F off, and I didn't do it because the Broodmother counseled me against it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an injury. I think it's interesting. It changed my mind.
I think there's a fate. Yeah, there's a fate there. I'm down with that.
Always remind strangers that I'm Polara by Prince Polara Dragonsworn. I want to make a comment for that because when the name asked me who I was like, I'm Dragonsworn, and everyone like lost their crap.
I liked it.
It came up multiple times.
Yep. I'll take another fate. I'll offer another fate for that. Yeah.
Always spend my evenings reading from libraries in the vault. It was background. It was cosmetic.
Yeah.
Always get a twinge to the back of my head from impending danger. Did not come up.
I got to remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like you ambushed me. I'll certainly let
Yeah.
you know. Bearded, folksy wisdom, aches and pains, homesick.
I
I
like that
feel
she's homesick. She's kind of homesick. I like that, like, she has a trait about being homesick for Wheelholt. Like, that might be something like in the back of her head somewhere that she just doesn't talk about.
yeah,
I think that's kind of cool that she's like home. It's like life sick for like her past life.
yeah.
I think that's neat. I think that's really neat.
I think it's fun too.
I
Um,
totally, I I feel that too much. So yeah, that's cool.
um,
Cool. Anything
God
else?
damn it. I have a colon for course persuasion. Need to remember that.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I would like one. Well, I feel like folksy wisdom was very applicable here in terms of making peace with an orc. Um, Maybe not really, because it's like the opposite of tradition. Everyone's like, you never do that. You can't do that. It's impossible. This isn't like old sayings. This is treading new ground. So
Right.
yeah, maybe not. Yeah, never
Yep.
mind. I think not. I
Yep.
was like, oh, it feels like her thing, but it's not. It's a real
Yep.
yeah. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna take 3 persona and 2 fate. And then oops, I want to go back here. And no, it is on that page. And then of the other rewards, earning Artha, embodiment, MVP, mold breaker, workhorse, etc.
Hmm.
Um, I
I feel like embodiment. I feel like there's a lot of like chill talking in this game, and we really
yeah,
got to see Polara relax into her role a little bit more. I would say embodiment,
I
and I
like
don't
that.
give that one out lightly.
Thank
Uh,
you. Well,
yeah, I would say embodiment.
I think that sounds great. I am I am inclined to give Gaffy workhorse because I feel like even if it was behind the
Yeah,
scenes, I made Gaffy like do all this stuff that was just like
yeah,
not his. Well, it is his job, but it's not his field of expertise, and I think I just worked
love it.
him. I worked him to the grindstone.
That's really
Um,
cool. I really like that.
and and you tell me whether or not my convincing people to go try and make a peace with the dwarf is worth mold breaker for anybody, myself or one of the or somebody like Krabika, who was like, we fight them, we don't talk to them, and I'm like,
Right.
nope, we're gonna talk to them. Um,
Um, I think it's a mold breaker for you. I would say to take a persona for that.
all right. All right, I'm gonna take 5 persona, 3 from beliefs, 1 from embodiment, 1 from mold breaker.
That's okay. You were nearly down to nothing, and you're
Yeah,
about to go to war, so things are about to get real.
that's fair. I still got a deed. I thought about spending the deed in that duel of wits, and then I realized like, oh no, I have this. Never mind, I got it. I will save that for a more difficult one.
Yeah, I
Um,
did not see any duel of wit skills in that in their life paths, and I was like, yeah, this is not. No, no, no,
yeah,
no.
cool
Cool.
beans.
I think we're done.
I think we're done. I am very excited about next session. I think depending on how it goes, next session might be our last one.
Could be.
Honestly,
It could be.
um, it sort of depends on where this story goes, right? Like
Yeah. It's either the
we've
next one or the one after that. Yeah, we're getting there.
yeah. Um,
And then I think it's funny. I could see then like putting Pellara aside for a little bit and doing the Archmage story. But I could totally see circling back around if Pellara is still around and is in a good state. And like, circling back around and doing like, I don't know. I could see the 3 books in this trilogy, right? The Bina
yeah,
book, the Pellara book, and then the Archmage book. And then I could see uh the author being like, hey, I'm going to do a standalone about Pellara and like
right.
a little like plot element that was left undone with her, and I think that might be kind of cool. But yeah, so I think like we might be done with this book, but
Mm-hmm.
like we'll like set Polara aside and like make sure our notes are good and we remember all of our names, and then maybe play another game, see what the world looks like, and then possibly come back to Polara again.
I think so. I
That'd be
think
kind of
I think
cool.
the Dwarven Unions could definitely be a second Polara saga, right?
Oh
Like I don't
yeah.
think she's
Oh
going to do
wow.
anything about it right now, right? Like I don't think
Yeah.
this is the moment to be like for the people.
Right.
But she very much is. It's just there's an immediate threat in front of her, and that the unions are sort of a whisper in the dark. But I think
Yeah.
she would super before them. She is super for them, uh, and distribution of yeah. I think that could be an interesting saga in and of itself.
Cool.
So yeah. Let's do the thing. I am Sean. I use he him pronouns. I had a blast playing with you today, Judd. This was wonderful as always. I am my game Agon just came out. It is available in your friendly local gaming store now. I'm super excited about that. The book is physically an artifact. It is John Harper did the he's my co-author, and he did the art and the layout, and it's just a gorgeous damn book. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also excited because we just launched the Kickstarter for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which I'll put in chat as well. And it's already funded and blasted through a ton of goals. And I'm so excited about this game being real. It embraces queer love and experiences, and it centers emotional conflicts, and it's high action and adventure, and it's just a fun romp of a game that is so much about the expression of your truth and your identity, and I love it. I'm
Yeah.
delighted to be
So
part of it.
the highest compliment I know how to give Thirsty Sword Lesbians is that Strash is, on one hand, a very gregarious and excited and effusive gamer. But when Strash doesn't like a game, it is very difficult to talk with Strash about that game.
Yeah.
And so he was so in love, like loving and like about the game design of Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked. Like I had already backed it at that point. I had already backed it for a hard copy. I knew I wanted that book, and I knew I wanted to see it and play it, but I didn't know that I was going to be this excited to see it. And to hear Strash talk about it as just fucking awesome game design was shocking, because that is not something I hear very often. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool
I'm
to
so
hear.
glad to hear that, because there was a lot. It came to us in really good shape. It came to us a very solid game, and then April spent a couple months working with Avery. This was like one of the as a publisher, this was like one of the coolest things that could happen. Is we reached out to Avery and said, hey, would you be willing to work with us on this in system development to just sort of like fine tune things? And Avery and April like dug into that game so hard, and they made such cool engines. They made these, each playbook has its own central narrative conflict, and it's expressed in these beautiful mechanical ways that make those choices about what matters to your character really meaningful on like an every beat moment. Like you're making these choices, and they're written out in front of you, and they're also mechanically relevant. And so if the seeker who comes from this toxic culture like obeys their previous commandments, they raise up in their tradition, which is the way people from their culture see them and respect them. But then that is also, it eats away at who they are. And when they finally reject these commandments, they instead replace them with a conviction, and that mechanic kind of flips on its head. And it's just a beautiful, it's an orc giving up hate, I don't know, I say an orc giving up hate specifically in the Burning Wheel context of like that is a defining trait, right? It's
if you want to get excited about this book, even more so than just reading the book, there's a science fantasy amazing whodunit romp called Gideon the Ninth, and it has a sequel called Harrow the Ninth, and then there'll be a third one. The first two are out. It is so much fun. I have shoved this book. I got an advanced reader copy back in my librarian days, and then just shoved the damn reader copy at everyone I could. Like and everyone who has read it has loved it, and it will get you very excited to play Thirsty Sword Lesbians. There's just like necromancy and swords and queerness, and if you want to get a little excited to play this game, then that is the route I would go. It's weird and funny, but adventurous and amazing, and I absolutely don't even know how else to
That sounds
talk
amazing.
about it. Yeah, so that is my librarian advice to everyone listening to this. If you are interested in, if you are interested in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, or if you've already backed it and just want to get even more excited, then that's the fiction I might go to. It's good stuff, and it's really like I've never read a book and just like rolled over to Johnny every couple of minutes and been like, I don't remember when I've had this much fun reading a book.
Wow.
And then like rolled back over and like kept reading. Like I just and then I finished it and I gave it to her, and then like we just reversed the roles where she would be reading it and she would turn over and be like, I can't believe how much fun this is. And I'd be like, right? So anyway, oh my goodness,
you're list right now.
Yeah, check it out. It is. And I don't like whodunits, like, but it has like a mystery element to it, and I liked it anyway. It didn't care. Great book. Check it out. And Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you should definitely check it out. I would have said that before because I've already backed it and I think it looks awesome. But then like Strash somehow made me even more excited for it by giving a very rare bit of praise to game design and saying just as nice of things as you can say about a PBTA design, and just very, very like effusive and excited, and it was awesome. So check it out. He's a hard critic, and yeah, I'm excited, and I'm even more excited to hear the story behind it, to hear that like Avery and the game designer got together.
Yeah, April. Yeah,
April rocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. Okay, well,
Cool.
did you want to? We kind of transition there, but I don't know if you want to say.
No, I don't want to say anything. If I can leave everybody with, hi, my name is Judd. He, him, Gideon the Ninth, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Like that's a fine message for my evening. I'm fine with that.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you all later. Take care.